So Mad Max Fury Road and Jurassic World successfully resurrected their franchises back to life. Those two films were really good, and everyone is now looking forward to the next installment in the franchise. Now, can Terminator Genisys do the same? Terminator Genisys. So Terminator Genisys is the fifth installment in the Terminator franchise, and pretty much what the film is trying to do is trying to change the timeline of the Terminator franchise. So it's trying to do what X-Men Days of Future Past did for the X-Men franchise. It's trying to change the timeline so it can create a new timeline, so that way the studio execs can be like, alright, so now we get to make a new trilogy and make more money. And does the Terminator Genisys successfully resurrect the Terminator franchise? Is it finally the great sequel that we've been wanting since T2? By no means is the film awful or terrible enemies. No, it is definitely the best Terminator sequel we've had since T2. It is the first and actual real third installment in the Terminator franchise. But here's the thing, anything can be better than Terminator 3 and Terminator Salvation. So that's not really saying much, but I will say though, the film, I really did enjoy it for most of it. Before I go into the negative aspect about this film and what makes it not work, let me just say some of the things that actually did work in this film. The acting in this movie was actually really good. You got a lot of great stars in this. You got Schwarzenegger back, and I gotta say, Schwarzenegger, Arnold, baby, Arnie did a great job playing the Terminator. It's great to see him back, and he kicks ass. And I gotta say, Emilia Clarke's performance as Sarah Connor was great. She did a great job in playing her. She kicked ass. And as soon as she came on screen, I was like, whoa, okay. I don't want to mess with her because I know she's going to kick my ass. Even though I'm going to like her kicking my ass, I know it's going to be painful. Because what Linda Hamilton did in T2 Judgment Day, in the first film, she was different. You know, she was just like this shy girl, and then the second one, she becomes a total badass. So I was like, okay, those are some big shoes to fill, but Emilia Clarke did a great job in it. And now we got to talk about Jai Courtney, and for those of you who don't know, I think you've seen it from a couple of videos. I'm not a big fan of Jai Courtney. I don't hate the guy. You know, I don't know him in real life. He's probably a really nice guy, but in terms of his acting performances in his films, yeah, he hasn't done a good job. Now, here's the thing I'll say. For the material that Jai Courtney was given, I'll say that he did a decent job in portraying Kyle Reese. And a lot of the action scenes in the movie were really well shot. None of them had that shaky cam bullcrap. All of them were really shot well. You're like, you can see a big wide angle of the action scene. You're like, okay, I'm immersed into the action scene. I really like it. Another positive thing in this movie is that there was this great relationship between the Terminator and Sarah Connor. In T2, one of the best aspects of that film is the relationship between John Connor and the Terminator. The way the two interacted throughout the whole film, the way it was developed throughout the entire film, you actually felt for the two, and you're like, wow, I really actually like this relationship, and you kind of felt invested more into the film. It's not like how it was in Terminator 2, but they do a good job in getting you enough to like kind of invest to it. Alright, I buy that. I actually like this, and it's a really good storyline they have in the film. And there's some comedic moments that happen throughout the film, and I gotta say, some of those were really funny and it made me laugh actually. I was like, wow, that was funny. Good one. As for the negatives, however, a lot of some of the positives I said also have to deal in the negative area. Here's the thing that's wrong with Terminator Genisys, is story. Its plot line is very, very convoluted because the film deals with time travel and alternate timelines. And the problem that this film faces is that it tries to explain them. And the thing about it is, when you do a film that deals with time travel and alternate timelines, it's best not to say too much and try to explain it in a simple manner that says, okay, look, time travel is very, very difficult to talk about. It's a messy subject, so let's just forget about it. But because the Terminator Genisys, since they now presented an explanation, you look into the explanation, you're like, I'm gonna say, what? That just doesn't make sense. And so because they presented that, you start analyzing, examining that whole explanation. You're thinking to yourself, how would that work? And then something happens, you're like, wait a minute, wouldn't this happen instead? Or what? And as I said, for some of the comedic moments, some of them worked, but there were some that just didn't need to be there. For example, there's this one scene in this film where it's this big action scene on the bridge. You've seen it in the trailer. And after that scene is done, there's this comedic moment, and I understand what they were going for. I was like, okay, that was funny. But then they include the Bad Boys song, you know, bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you? They have the song in the damn movie for like the second. I'm like, what the? That scene felt so out of place. It almost felt like it came from a gag reel. For those of you who don't know what a gag reel is, you know when you go on the special features of a DVD, it has gag reel with the actors, they make mistakes and have jokes on set. That's what a gag reel is. That scene felt like it was supposed to be part of the gag reel, but accidentally the editors actually got that scene from the gag reel and actually put it onto the movie itself. Honestly, the scene itself, the way you set it up, okay, it was funny, got a good chuckle, but then you add that song, it's like, what? In a Terminator movie, really? And what made the first Terminator and the second Terminator so great was that in the action scenes, they incorporated some practical stuff and CGI. It was a mix of the two. So when you watch the action scenes, you were actually invested in it. You're like, all right, I feel like I'm in there. I'm actually enjoying this. But in Terminator Genisys, they just go full on CGI. So when you see a CGI'd Arnold Schwarzenegger fighting this robot, you're immediately taken out of that action. You're like, oh man, I can't immerse myself into this and I can't enjoy it because I know it's fake. You know, in the CGI, there were some points where it was actually really well done, but there were some points where it was like, wow, you could a little polish that, especially when it comes to Arnold Schwarzenegger being CGI. Overall, Terminator Genisys, while it is definitely better than Terminator 3 and Salvation, is definitely the real Terminator 3, it's still not the great Terminator film that us Terminator fans were hoping it to be. I'll say this, the movie is very entertaining, for sure. You're not going to be bored while watching this movie. If you're a Terminator fan, you are going to be disappointed because you know what? You wanted this film to be great, and it's not. It's okay. So I'm going to give Terminator Genisys a C+. You can have fun with the film. Just know it's not the great Terminator film that we were hoping it to be. So guys, that's my review for Terminator Genisys. What did you guys think of the film? Did you guys think that this was finally the Terminator 3 that we've been waiting for since T2? Or do you think this was yet another disappointing Terminator film? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, have a nice day.